All right, guys, welcome in and welcome back. I think I've got audio. Where is the audio mixer? Let me get chat going so I can tell. Okay. All right, we're going. Welcome in, welcome back. Saturday night, 2/25/2023. We got a rain torch, snow torch coming up through the Pacific right into California, man. It looks like a fountain coming in there. I'm doing pretty good. Just my legs are real swollen. I was up on them a lot today, but I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I feel really good today. Better than I have in probably a week. Anyway, I'm just letting this cycle through. But if you look over here in California, here, let me get it where you can, it's kind of highlighted where it starts really, you can just see this atmospheric river being funneled up through the south. We did a video earlier this morning showing all the aircraft trails feeding into the storm. We can see some right up here over Oregon. But we also have a hurricane hunter plane out here. We've got one out off the coast of California, actually all the way down from BC all the way down to California. You have another mission over here by the Aleutian Island chain. What are they doing up here by Alaska? They're calling it a low-level reconnaissance. They didn't drop any drop zones, allegedly. But what are they doing up here? Is there some kind of earthquake stuff? Who knows? They ain't telling us. They're unassigned. Now we got a big time storm coming up Sunday into Monday, which will, we got 16-day forecast tomorrow, but take these winds off. We just got a massive amount of convective energy along with all these high winds, which is going to definitely create tornadoes. And as I look at the energy, these things are going to be coming through at night, which is going to make it even worse. We also got a big thing of energy up here and a little bitty streamer coming right in through Southern California. But this is high amounts of energy. It's almost like down here in the tropics. And that's what's going to make this storm pretty deadly here. Or at least the potential for some pretty wicked storms. And definitely some flooding. We put it on the 3-hour precipitation forecast. It's going to back it around a little bit. We're going to see this thing really ramp up. We're talking like mega amounts of moisture. So we're going to have some serious flooding. Depending on the temperatures, ice on one side of the storm. But yeah, it's just going to go right up into Wisconsin, Michigan. My legs are all swelled up like balloons right now. Yeah, I was on them all day long. I haven't really took a break today. I'll lay on the floor and stick them up in the air. Take an Epsom salt bath later. I'll get them down a little bit. Anyway, let's hit some articles and we'll get back into this. Excuse me there. Winter weather forces Yosemite to close. Several storms forecast in Oklahoma, Kansas. Weekend weather. Basically what I just told you. A storm causing blizzard conditions, heavy rain, high winds kept pummeling California Saturday before continuing on to Oklahoma and Texas by Sunday. It's going to be more into Sunday night. We don't need their crap. We'll go to the next article here. So we got a blizzard going on in Southern California. Now we got thunder snow. we've seen the setup. If you didn't watch the video this morning, I showed the setup on it. Remember, we're alternating videos channels on YouTube. Like we're on the backup channel AGWN today. Tomorrow's 16-day forecast, I'll multi-stream. But then Monday we'll be on the main too. I just alternate. So make sure you're subscribed to the AGWN channel or the Mike Morales channel. A series of low-pressure systems packing cold air straight for Canada brought low-level snow, rare blizzard warnings for Southern California. Now to add an exclamation point to the freakiness of this week's weather, there was thunder snore in Southland. Well, if they didn't look out off the Pacific to see what was going on, they would have seen these ships out there starting a new bunker fuel operation, which is also known as cloud brightening, cloud whitening, climate forcing, whitening the clouds, added heavy metals. And that's what we're looking at, these lines right here. You can look up on Wikipedia what fuel oil is. Some of the most toxic emissions on the planet. Causes 400,000 premature deaths each year from cardiovascular disease, lung cancer. Also causes 14 million childhood asthma cases each year. And that's why they call it Asthma Alley over here off California. And one problem, I can't load up today. This is yesterday's map. Look when I go to today. It's not loaded. The only part that loads is way over here. This is the one we're looking at now. I think it's because of the radio blackout over in the Pacific. I've been trying to get this to load for about an hour. It won't load. Snowfall in Los Angeles area, thousands without power. Here, let's go see just how many is without power. Let me refresh this. I haven't refreshed it. Yeah, I can't wait for spring, man. I hate winter. This really wasn't even a winter, man. The whole year was like windier than normal. We had one polar Arctic plunge and then a couple just normal cold fronts. Only a couple snows. We're way behind snow in Missouri. So it looks like they got some back on. Right now, Michigan's leading with the most power outages with 332,523. California coming in with 89, 627. Texas, almost 4,000. Oregon, 3,200. Virgin Islands, 2,400. Now we're going to see these ramp up over the next couple of days. I'm really surprised they got that out. Got a lot of that out. Everybody else looks pretty good. Strongest snowstorm in years lead California to light and frozen. What about all the homeless people? What'd they do with all them? All them people are out there freezing to death. The snowstorm hovering over parts of Southern California could end up becoming one for the record books. Blizzard conditions, blustery winds. The snow line's already crept far down slope. Rare winter freeze blankets, California nice. They're all stuck out there. Cars are stuck everywhere. I've seen some footage of it. Dangerous winds return to New Mexico on Sunday. Damaging, dangerous winds, areas of blowing snow and dust, high fire threat. You got it all coming in. This is all part of that system that we've been documenting. We had a tornado hit down in New Zealand again. It's Waihee Beach, more than 2,000 homes without power. Fire and Emergency told News they received calls about the tornado around 8 a.m. in the morning Multiple power lines are down. 2,487 properties without power on the beach. Outages started just before 8 a.m. See, we're getting tornadoes everywhere, every month of the year. It's tornado season every day. We also got slip surface flooding seas around Lowe's closures on the North Island. It's part of New Zealand. Northland's cut off from Auckland after slips and flooding overnight. Torrential rain around Auckland has caused some flooding. Every country's got pretty much the same weather plan. We got weather in Croatia. Beast from the east brings sudden temperature drops. It's going to ruin the crops. Pulled by an anti-cyclone stationed over Great Britain. A low pressure developing over the Mediterranean Sea over the European mainland above the boundary. Cold air for the north. That's really not what happened. What's happening is the polar vortex is being shifted around. In fact, let's take a look at it. So, wow, it's really not even that super cold, but all the cold air is right here. That's pretty crazy, man. Where'd it all go? We got a little heating event right over the North Pole, and then a little heating event down here right off the Leeward Islands, or the Bahamas, down below Bermuda and stuff. All the cold air is like way down here, which is odd. Let me go back a few days. Levy. See, that cold air was more parked right over Greenland, if I can get it over there. See, we had the heating event pushing the cold air down. This is what really happened. We have a heating event. This is all heat right here. And that's how you push it around. I know we got sun weather, but we also have thousands of satellites up there that can do the same thing. It's raining fish down in Australia. Spangled perch are falling from the sky at a remote area of Australia. It's been falling down from the sky. They don't know why. They know why. It happens at the same time. You get downburst, picking them up out of the water and then dropping them off. It's the same story. They just try to make it more crazier. Around 560 miles south of Darwin, a big storm was headed to the community. When it started raining, they noticed that fish were falling from the sky. According to Queensland Museum, the fish were spangled perch and were about the size of a child's palm. They had fallen overnight, and people woke up the following day finding them scattered all over the town, some still alive. Some were picking them up, putting them in bottles in a jar. Most measured between 6 and 10 inches long. Man, that's some big fish. And of course, it wasn't the first time it has happened. The bizarre event was not unprecedented. According to ABC News, it occurred in 2010, also 2004, and as far back as 1974. Man, that ain't no 10-inch fish. It's basically just thunderstorms picking them up, sucking them up out of the ponds or whatever, and then getting them in the uplift. Coming out of Yahoo, China flashed mysterious green lasers over Hawaii. It's happened back on the 21st. A Chinese satellite flashed previously unidentified lights over Hawaii last month. China is most likely behind the mysterious green lights. See, they don't know. It could have been one of our own. You know, there's thousands and thousands of satellites up there that have this technology. We got Skynet, space mirrors, and all kinds of stuff up there. See, they're just making this stuff up. Where's the facts? A week after the incident, experts at the National Astronomical Observatory in Japan, which co-owns the camera, claimed on Twitter that the green light originated from radar on the NASA satellite ICESat-2. But later, NOAA revised its theory, saying that based on trajectory, the satellite has LiDAR, laser imaging detection, and ranging for detecting atmospheric aerosols, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, ozone. This is like the Earth's null school that we use. It's probably the same satellite. See, they got technology that you don't know till you check this stuff out. Coming out of Popular Mechanics, highly intelligent and possibly invincible super pigs are invading America. A special breed of hybrid super pigs from Canada have started to travel south into the northern United States. Pose a threat to native wildlife and prove tough to eradicate. It's a mix of a domestic pig and a wild boar. Originally crossbred to help farm pigs grow larger, tolerate the cold temperatures in Canada. But about 2 decades ago, led some farmers to let their hybrid pigs run free. Now they're very free, according to the Field and Stream. See, this is the same thing with the mad scientist. They do the same thing. Except they don't tell you about it. Metal sphere found on Japanese beach prompts UFO Dragon Ball Z theories. It's a ball. It's a concrete ball. It's nothing UFO. See, they're using the UFO to get that in the back of your mind for the next fake out. Get a drink here. Everything's fake outs now. What about the real invasion of all the borders? That's the real alien invasion. It's so bad in Colorado, we got meth contamination around Colorado Springs. It's on everything. It's in the school bathrooms, mirrors, sinks. This is the kind of world they want to live in. Powerful X-class flare spat out a rare solar tsunami. You can hear it smashing into Earth. A clip of X-class flares erupting from the sun on the 17th, followed by a solar tsunami that's visible as a faint shock wave in the surrounding region. A clip of the X-class flare erupting from the sun on the 17th. It's one of the most powerful solar flares our home star is capable of producing. Rarely seen solar tsunamis across the sun's surface and unleash an intense burst of radiation that cause blackouts on Earth. Probably they got a news. If you got ham radio, you listen to stuff all the time. That's what you watch for. We see this is a huge blackout, and that may be why my map's not loading. flare triggered a rare type of shockwave known as solar tsunami that ripped across the sun's visible surface. A giant wave of hot plasma. The flare also emitted a Type 2 solar radio burst, a stream of mainly ultraviolet X-ray radiation that hit the Earth shortly after the flare erupted. Radiation ionized the upper atmosphere, causing radio blackouts across the Americas for an hour. Now we got another big one coming here, which should hit in the next couple of days. Solar winds gone up even a little higher since this morning. Now we're up to 436 kilometers a second. We're under a geomagnetic storm watch. We're about to receive a double blow for the first of a solar wind stream from a CME, both arriving around the 27th. And the solar wind streams flowing from an equatorial hole in the southern atmosphere launched yesterday with a chain reaction explosion. Could spark G1 class to G2 moderate geomagnetic storms, the auroras in North Tier of the U.S. The magnetic filament connected to the sunspot AR3229 erupted on the 24th, producing a chain reaction of events that could lead to a geomagnetic storm on Earth. The action began around 1949 UTC when the filament rose up and sliced through the sun's atmosphere. Man, I got to get me a solar telescope so I can film this stuff. The violent liftoff destabilized the AR3229, sparking long-duration M3 class solar flare. Radiation from the flare in turn ionized the top of Earth's atmosphere, blacking out shortwave radio transmissions around the Pacific Ocean. Mariners, ham radio operators may have noticed loss of signals below 25 megahertz. See, that's pretty good, big blast right there. The Type 2 solar radio emissions from the leading edge suggest departure at about 2.77 million miles an hour. Man, I can't talk very good tonight. So we got that coming in. Only 3 fireballs. Man, now see all the pictures I took. So we had a pretty close call here. 0.02 lunar distances. Little 4 meter diameter. NEO come by. We got a restaurant goes viral for a sign saying now hiring non-stupid people. Good luck with that. They're hard to find. California teenager makes history by sequencing genome of his pet fish. So he's going to use his pet fish's genetic mapping and use for a model organism in future biomedical research. I read this article earlier. He's like cloning the fish, bringing him back from the dead and stuff. More Frankenscience. I remember I went over a while back about the RNA technology with the bugs, how they were changing the DNA of the bugs and spraying the stuff over the fields. And here, what do we get? A couple of days later, coming out of Bloomberg, sick honeybees find lifeline in the cornholio vaccine technology using the RNA. They've already been using it since 2014. We went over it a couple of weeks ago. Coming out of Guam, a fungus wiped out 3.5 billion American chestnut trees. Scientists believe genetically engineered blight-resistant trees will bring it back. See, they're playing like God trying to bring things back, and like if things are being changed, it's for a reason. The application of genetic engineering to food crop is controversial. Critics worry that changing genetics may have harmful, unanticipated effects on food safety and the environment. Well, that's a fact. Almost as soon as it became possible, genetic engineering was co-opted chemical companies to create herbicide-resistant strain of crops so that weeds could be controlled using glyphosate, stuff that's getting everybody sick. Now my arm's starting to hurt. With all this rain and snow, can California really still be in a drought? Look deeper. Only weeks after a series of atmospheric rivers deluged California, the state is once again bracing for powerful winter storms. But worsening climate extremes and water supply challenges continue to be bedevil. The state officials caution residents not to assume the recent moisture signaled the end of the drought. That's because they're going to drain it back out into the ocean. We've been documenting it since 2018. That's what they're doing. All you got to do is go to the dam levels site and watch what they're releasing, the CPMs going out and in. San Francisco holds its breath to find out how much it will cost to protect its waterfront from sea level rise. I know there's a lot of people who live out there in California who's seeing sea level rise. Are you documenting it? Can you tell? Just a question. More on the GMO. Climate change threatens European agriculture. Debate over GMO crops is reignited. Barcelona, Spain. Last summer, Europe marked a turning point for agriculture. Searing temperatures broke historical records. With similar scenarios predicted this year, the global temperatures continue to rise. Some experts once again are pushing new strains of crops currently classified as GMOs, capable of withstanding the heat waves. See, they were outlawed out here. Most of the stuff in our food's outlawed in other countries, but not here. Now they're trying to bring it in. They all are trying to get in on the Franken food. Officials plan to shoot 150 cattle from the sky. There's an 11th hour lawsuit to stop it. This is down in New Mexico. During a federally approved 3-day event to start Thursday, the U.S. Forest Service plans to shoot feral cattle from a helicopter roaming in southwestern area of the state. Explaining feral cattle pose a significant threat to public safety and natural resources. Why don't they just get the cows, feed the hungry, and use the resources instead of wasting them? Now you're going to have dead cattle laying around causing more problems. Psychopaths, man. Yeah, not going to go with that dumb thing. Now we got, we just talked about sea level rise. Now, a couple years ago, there's an article come out in Venice talking about how the sea levels were like on the third step up. Sea level rise was all over the place. Now, today, low tide leaves Venice canals almost dry. What happened to the sea level rise? Venice canals are almost dry after exceptionally low tides. making it impossible for gondolas, water taxis, ambulance to navigate the waterways. The problems in Venice are being blamed on a combination of factors, including lack of rain, high pressure systems, a full moon, and sea currents. Well, I thought sea level rise would have took care of it. See, they can't prove it. So what do they do in Norway? They fact check. They say Norway, the land is rising faster than the sea levels falling. So the claim post implies falling sea level in Norway shows global sea levels aren't rising. You know, we just talked about that, but so instead of stating the obvious that the seas raise and lower with the wind and the tides and the tidal locked moon, now they're going to make it up and say the ground is rising faster. I mean, we have complete craziness going on. We could tell with the satellites. We had a weird looking asteroid come flying by a while back. Looks like a chicken toe or something. And it wasn't potentially hazardous. It just zipped back, elongated. Like I said, it looks just like a chicken toe. This thing has like a 600 and something day. It takes it like 600 and something days to like rotate one time. I don't know if this is the article I read on it. Let's see. Yeah, this thing takes around 621 days to make a full orbit, you know, its full spin on itself. Just like our days and nights and months. Pretty wild. Too bad I couldn't have caught that. All right, I'm not going to get into them. Yeah, my neck's starting to hurt. Arm and stuff. Let's go ahead and look at it, see if we can see what kind of aerosols are coming. So we get this thing to go. Man, I drank a cup of coffee and now I'm more tired. I hate when that happens. Now you can see that rain torch coming up. Look at that thing just feeding right up, man. That's a rain torch right there. Tons of aerosols coming in. Washington, Oregon, we got the Hurricane Hunter plane out there. We got mass spraying over Florida. All down through Louisiana, Alabama, Texas. Everywhere is being sprayed down to the south, setting up for the storms coming in Sunday night. We'll zoom in on this. I drink Life Boost coffee, man. It's as alkaline as water. It's awesome coffee. It's expensive, but it's good. Gotta drink the right coffee. This coffee's good. Plus, it's helping me clean my liver and kidneys out because it makes me go a lot. Let me zoom in on some of these. Yeah, Florida's getting waxed. I quit drinking anything with sugar in it. I just drink green tea, water, coffee, mullion tea, then all my other natural teas like the Happy Liver teas and all that. I don't take any salt no more. Yeah, coffee is definitely antioxidant. So you can see all the grids up here. I need to probably go farther north. Look, they're even spraying over here by the Bahamas. Big fat. This looks like the same. Oh, that must be like from this morning because keep forgetting I've been doing a lot of morning shows. And things look the same to me, and I'm like, deja vu. Now, you don't want to drink all them Walmart K-Cup coffees, man. That's some acidic, tear you up stuff. So we got South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi all getting waxed. Texas. Everybody's just getting waxed. Let me go up north and I'll go more to the... Yeah, I love dark black coffee. Yeah, we're getting waxed up here. West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, everybody. Look at that, man. They're getting... Look at all these little loops. Look, that's not flying back and forth. They're doing circles. Hold on, I got to get squared up on that. Either they had to turn a bunch of planes around, or we get a bunch of U-turns going on over here. Look at this big, long, straight line. Like that's the cutoff line right there. Yeah, they're doing circles. They're going back and forth. They're all doing circles. All almost evenly spaced. Look at that. They're going back and forth and back and forth. Probably find that on flight radar. So they're spraying all the way around the storm. They're aircraft trails, man-made aircraft trails. They call them cirrus clouds. We got all our other names for them. We know what they really are. We know what's in them. See, they're really loading up. This is where the energy is going to be coming up. You can already see these clouds got pretty high tops on them already. It's going to get worse. I mean, they're just smacking it down over here. Let's see if we can get this thing to load. I didn't read about the plane crash. I only was able to get on the computer for about an hour. I had all these articles up from this morning still, or most of them. So look at what we got going on here off the coast of Oregon and Northern California. Got a little hot spot right there. Look at them. Man, look at that dump right there. Whatever this plane coming through right here really dumped it. Look at the thing spreading out already. See, these are all artificial aircraft clouds. Every bit of it. All this is man-made. Blocking the sunlight with the aircraft. They said they were going to do this 43 years ago. And now they're doing it. go to the west. Yeah, I'm going to have to jump off here quick. My legs and feet are really swelling up sitting here. It's starting to hurt. Get a bigger picture here. Plus we got 16-day forecast. Tomorrow night we'll get into all this way deeper. A med chopper went down. Man, that sucks. Oh man, look at this waxing going on out here. Feeding the look, all these lines are feeding right into that rain torch. Then you got the hurricane hunters plane going straight up from that and then up over the Aleutian Islands. Mass operation. And then you got bunker fuel out to the west. I wonder if I can zoom in. No, it's not really going to probably let me zoom in too much. See if I can pick up that area. Yeah, I got to get my legs elevated for a while, then I'll jump in the Epsom salt bath and let that do a little work. Yeah, I lay on the floor and then I put my legs up on the bed. I get them up real high. It's uncomfortable as heck. Yep, look at that right down there to the south. Look at these guys turning off and on, off and on, off and on. Feeding right around the low pressure, getting sucked up into there. It just shows you what they're doing. It's not random. This is rain torch isn't random. Look at that gust front coming off it. These are all intentional. They can't deny it. They got the hurricane hunter plane out there too. Just want to see what this looks like. So anyway, we're in a major battle. Everybody on the planet is in a battle between good and evil. If you can't see it, it's right in front of your face. So everybody needs to put the armor on and just be ready for anything, man. We don't know what they're going to pull off. Keep faith. And eyes to the skies. Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here and go take care of this stuff. I may pull one off in the morning, so if you're up in the morning, if I wake up real early, I'll be on. Anyway, guys, armor on, much love, eyes to the sky. I'm not going to do an outro or nothing tonight. Anyway, be safe out there. Get ready for these tornadoes, these nighttime tornadoes coming up Sunday into Monday. And we'll do the. Hopefully, we're not getting hit with storms during the 16-day tomorrow. Anyway, guys, much love. Armor up. Let me turn my little thing off. And we will catch you either in the morning or tomorrow night for the 16-day forecast.